I want to give you my perspective on the Brett Kavanaugh situation. A couple of years ago, I was followed home from work by guys clearly who had the intention of robbing me. They blocked off the exit or the entrance to my home and came running at me with guns. One of them had a shotgun and the other had a handgun. When I was debriefed about an hour later, the investigators asked me to recount the event blow by blow. I explained to them that the person with the handgun was at my head and the person with a shotgun was on the passenger side. I noticed them looking at each other because clearly I wasn't recounting the event accurately. So I asked them, I questioned them, and they said, no, just carry on. You give us your version of the events. When we went to look at the footage, because it was filmed, it was in my driveway, I could see that in fact I had recounted it incorrectly. The shotgun was at my head, and I had taken it in my memory and moved it to the far side, to the passenger side. And that floored me completely, because all of a sudden I couldn't rely on my own memory. I want to look at another aspect of the Brett Kavanaugh situation, or the Brett Kavanaugh debacle, and that is the fact that every Democrat senator believes Professor Ford, and every Republican senator believes Brett Kavanaugh. That in itself is deeply problematic, because it has to be that this isn't divided along political lines, but rather along the lines of what people really think and what they really feel. So we have to know that much of this event is politics, and very little, sadly, has to do with really finding out the truth, whatever that truth might be. Another aspect that I want to discuss for just a moment is a story that happened just a few weeks ago. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's English-speaking spokesperson was accused of sexual misconduct. The person doing the accusing lacked credibility in that she had been proven to have lied publicly about a number of things. So therefore, it called into question this issue. That said, within 24 hours, or maybe 36 hours, 12 other women had come forward. What this showed me is that sexual predators and sexual misconduct is a habit. It is a style of behavior, and it doesn't happen in isolation, or it's unlikely that it happens in isolation as it is claimed that this one did. And we have to discount some of the other people that supposedly stepped forward, because those stories too lack credibility. Professor Ford believes that Brett Kavanaugh assaulted her. If you watch her testimony, you can watch it with sound, you can watch it without sound, examine her body language. She believes that Brett Kavanaugh was in the room assaulting her. Brett Kavanaugh believes that he did not. You can watch the footage, you can listen to his frustration, his anger, his immense pain, with sound or without sound, and watch his body language. Brett Kavanaugh is not lying. They are both telling us their version of the truth. And that, of course, makes this a very complicated situation. I believe that we have to be open to the fact, or to the possibility, that Professor Ford changed in her memory a handgun with a shotgun. It is possible that Brett Kavanaugh wasn't the person in the room, as much as it is that this event happened. I believe that this event happened, even if the professor can't remember when and can't remember where. It did happen in her memory. But whether it was Brett Kavanaugh or not is most likely something that we will never know. What we have to do is separate the politics, and we have to appreciate that memory is not perfect. We all remember things incorrectly. What I do hope is that no damage is done to the Me Too movement, because it is vital and it is imperative that we send the right message to people that they need to come forward, and then they need to continue to expose these events. I'm Howard Feldman.